love women. I'm not gonna lie. I love women with a passion. I do. I feel like sometimes now I just want to call Prince and just be like, can we hang? Because I love women like he loved women.
Word of Prince's death was
Yeah.
spreading. What was it like performing in his hometown, his music on that night?
I mean, it was heavy, you know. It was one of those things where as a fan, you're kind of knocked back a lot. You're just like, oh my God. And then it kind of slowly dawns on you. It's like, oh Christ, I'm playing First Avenue in Minneapolis the day that Prince died, just for the fact that I loved everything that he did, you know? So I wanted to walk out on that stage, no words, play the song, have all of us kind of come together and share that moment, because I knew there were people in that audience hurting like I was.
What is so incredible about Paisley Park and whenever people are able to go, first of all, let me just take a quick second to appreciate the amazingness that is my life, that I get to go to Paisley Park before, you know what I mean? That I don't take that lightly in any sense of the word.
That's cool.
So now that I've taken that moment, whenever people can go, please go.
Yeah.
And I hope that place continues to flourish and become like what it is, which is a historical museum, because people get to experience. You don't get to just learn about Prince or see stuff. You get to feel the energy, because the room they didn't move anything. You know what I mean? The CDs that he's listening to
are in there.
Oh
wow!
And you know I'm in there what was he listening to? You know what I mean?
Wow.
I just got chills thinking about it. It's the art that he was looking at was on the table. You know what I mean? So it's a moment frozen in time. You know what I mean? That you get to really go and be in, and especially right now, so soon, that energy is very, very, very present.
Yeah,
you know.
I have to thank him. I always try to speak his name and honor him as much as I can, because I don't think, without his groundwork and the groundwork that he laid with Paisley Park, I don't think I would, or Wonderland Records or Wonderland Art Society, my collective, I don't think we would know how far we could take it. So,
wow. Do you still talk to him and seek his advice from another place?
I still feel his presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I still feel his presence. I don't feel alone in this journey.
I said, well, when do you want to jam, man? And he said, how about Friday? I said, okay. And he said, I'll call you. So I waited all week with my phone, just Prince is gonna call, Prince is gonna call. And of course he never called. So someone said, just go down there. And I got down there to sound check. There was no one there. It was an empty room. And I walked out into the middle of the arena, and he sees me and he goes, what are you doing here? And I said, oh, I thought we were gonna jam, Prince, you know. And he goes, you want to jam? I said, sure. So we get up. He said, you want to play drums or guitar? I said, I'll play drums. And so I sat down at this drum set, and we started playing Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. And it was, I swear to God, it was the most amazing experience of my entire life.
Wow.
And there was nobody there.
Oh, wow.
The forum was completely empty. I'm like, God, there's nobody's playing. And so, and then when we were done, he's like, yeah, we should do that. I was like, okay. He goes, what are you doing next week? And the next week I had a school fundraiser I had to do. So that was the only time I got to jam with Prince.
You move like a rock star. Who did you see moving like that and you're like, yo, I want to move like that? Or is it just it's just in your DNA to just be on some rock star shit?
It's definitely in my genetic makeup. But the people I grew up even thinking that were, the people I even grew up and I thought they were legends, it shows through them, you know what I'm saying? Prince.
When you do it,
you just keep it
unapologetically, and keep it authentically you. So I was authentically me the whole time, and I trust myself so much more. I feel so validated by that experience. He never changed me.
I go to my hotel room, I feel like I got a jackpot, you know? I got all these obscure kinds of bootlegs from Paisley Park, and I come across this one beautiful bootleg. I can't wait to listen to it. And I noticed that he had a song on there that he named Tender Surrender. So I'm like, of course, that's a very Prince kind of a title for a song, you know? And he's gonna get all the credit. And I thought, that's quite all right, because he's not a prince, he's a king. Put the CD in, I put the CD in, and I listen to it, and I hear, bum, 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 bum. And I grabbed the CD, I look, it says, Tender Surrender by Steve Vai. I started banging on everybody's door. Look at this. So tonight, I'm going to dedicate this song. And I just want to say, Prince, you were extraordinary and we are grateful.
Prince is the one. To me, Prince is the one. Prince was he was the best pop
musician of all time.
Musician, artist, just he was it. Like guitar playing, songwriting, singing, just like his style. You know what I mean? Like everything. And the thing about Prince was that Prince would go in the studio dolo and do the whole album and be like, here. Now y'all play it. Like niggas ain't had to write Prince songs. Prince was writing everybody else's songs. He giving hits to other niggas. Like Prince was the real king of pop to me. And I love Michael Jackson, but Prince is the king of pop.
He was some guy. I enjoyed him.
He was like one of the most...
Loved interviewing him.
Yeah.
Very honest.
He was, and he was just, I think a lot of people they know him for his music, but if you know him as a person, he just changed, at least he changed my life in every aspect. He really mentored me, was truly like a brother to me, and was there for me always. The most selfless, giving person.
He's our greatest living musician, and so I don't know, man. So, you know, it's hard to put into words how I kind of feel about it, but definitely gonna miss him. Definitely gonna miss him. Amazing person. Like I think that's the other part, and hilarious. I think that's the other part that, you know, that when he was comfortable around, you know, people, he would kind of let that cat out of the bag, and you're like, did Prince just hit you with the best joke ever? You know, but I think he was like he's like the godfather that we all wanted to impress. That if you got one compliment from him, you were just like, can you tell me nothing?
Prince discovered me about 3 years before he passed away. He told me he was a big fan of my voice. He said that he thinks I have an analog voice. And to me, that was so crazy. This is Prince, one of my biggest inspirations and one of the biggest icons of all time.
Probably the greatest musician I've ever seen live on stage, without question. There was nothing he couldn't do. He was the showman, a great writer, an incredible performer, singer, guitarist, and we all knelt at his feet because if you're a real musician, you know quality when you see it, and he had so much quality and charisma. These people don't come around very often, and anyway, I just want to say, you're a Purple Warrior. We loved you, we salute you, and we're gonna miss you.
Speaking about inspiration, you've worked previously some with Prince. I see you've got his shirt on today. What is some of the advice that he's given you?
I think the biggest thing I learned from that entire experience was to stay true to your art. That is how you become an artist.
I want to dedicate this award to the late, great Prince. Rest in peace. I was told not long ago that his last TV appearance, he had given me an award, and that was like the greatest experience of my entire life, and I love him so much. And you know, I didn't know him, but he was very close to me, and he will always be an inspiration, and of course help me push the envelope forever, and every artist, I hope. Rest in peace, Prince. I love you. Thank you.
Are you serious? I was on the stage with Prince? Like, are you serious? That is crazy. But that was Sasha. She took over. I did his ooh, and I was like, no, I didn't just do that. That's his thing. Right before he whispered, at the end, make this face like this. And I'm like, okay, and we did it, and that moment was so great, and the whole thing was, it was really surreal.
This Prince guy, you know, and like he plays everything on this, he does everything, he recorded it, he wrote all these songs, And the record was so all over the place, but it was a journey. And I went back and got Controversy, and I got everything. I like found singles and Bambi and all this stuff, and the first 2 records, and my God, this guy's amazing.
You're gonna kind of follow in the footsteps of Prince and just be done with the label. And
I wish I could, and he was so ahead of his time. And what he did before the era of when it could have really had the impact that it could today, which it still can. I'm not dismissing what he did. I think he was the first one that did it the best.
There's a funny story about Prince. Will you share that?
Well, you know, Michael just was a funny man, you know, and he loved to laugh. He had the greatest laugh. I shall miss that as much as, you know, so many other parts of Michael. I mean, he would bellow. He would laugh so hard he would fall on the ground and beat the ground, you know. And one day I was being very serious with him, and he was saying that he had been channeling, and therefore he didn't sleep, and he was working on songs, and his higher power was working through him and giving him ideas. And I was like, can't you talk to your higher power, please, and just ask if he could shelf these ideas until we open in London, and then we'll make sure that you have a recording studio at the gig and one at the house, and you can work on the record from that point on. And he was like, I can't do that. And I was like, why? And he was like, he'll give the ideas to Prince.
I love that. I love that. He said, God's speaking to me, and if I don't do it, he's going to give the ideas.
Give them to someone else.
He's going to give them to Prince.
He admired Prince, by the way. Loved his music. Purple Rain, he used to talk about that song, and yeah.
Well, he was a great musician. He loved music. He loved playing his instrument, and you know the times that we did jam together were amazing with all the various people he would bring together. And most of all, he brought all the various cultures together. He could play classical music if he wanted to. He could play jazz if he wanted to. He could play country if he wanted to. He played rock. You know, he played blues. He played pop. He played everything. He was just a great musician, and very cognizant of what his responsibility was as a musician and a human being.